Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Strategy703, the one and only Jolteon of Gaming, and the coach of the inner Milotic. Back again with some more Pokemon Showdown action for you today. This is our team builder for Week 2 match against the Las Vegas Gardevoir, coached by Gustavo N77. And as per usual, you can see the team roster on the right, and you can see the team that I'm deciding to bring on the screen right in front of you. But I'm just going to go over quickly the things that he decided to draft. So he went with Scolipede, Thunderous Incarnate, Terrakion, Florges, Decidueye, Mega Sceptile, UC Swellow, Alolan Muck, Pyra, Regice, and Gastrodon. In terms of teams, this team has a lot of threats just interspersed in between there. It has a decent enough Defogger and Decidueye that can take some hits. But in general, this is probably one of my least favorite rosters in terms of composition. It doesn't really go together well, and Gustavo himself was not actually there for the draft, so he had to pick from the leftovers, which means that his team has a lot of holes that I can see pretty well and hopefully exploit during our game this week. So I'm just gonna go through it super quickly. The first thing that I knew that I wanted to not have to deal with was the Scolipede, the Terrakion, setting up Ross, and the UC as well. I wasn't like Ross were a really big issue for me in my last game, but I also just wanted to make sure that my Hydreigon and my Landorus and my Galvantula, who I'm bringing for the first time, as well as Hydreigon, but anyway, that my things aren't getting whittled down and that I can keep pressure on him. So with that being said, I'm deciding to bring my Serena, or Sarina, I believe it's pronounced. Shakira, hits don't lie. Queenly Majesty, of course. U-turn, Acrobatics, Play Rough, and Trump. Actually, no, this wasn't my... I didn't have Hazard Removal. Sorry, this was a fully offensive set. U-turn for Pivot, of course. The Citrus Acrobatics to take on the Scolipede in particular. It wasn't going to be outspeeding it, but if it could catch it on a switch-in, that would be pretty nice. As well as the Decidueye and Sceptile, because I noticed kind of a big flying weakness in terms of those three. So Shakira can now take on, or Serena can now take on things that it wouldn't normally be able to take on otherwise. At least in Decidueye and the Scolipede, U-turn's not going to be doing much to either of those. The Play Rough to a Mega Sceptile definitely will be, but because it is UCL, he has the choice to bring regular Sceptile if he wants to. I don't think he will be. He wants the speed, but it's always an option. So it's good to have the Acrobatics on there, as well as the Citrus Berry. I can live. Let me just get a calc up. Versus La. Alright, so close combat from a Jolly Life Orb Terrakion does 75.2 to 89.8, so I can get the health back. And maybe not, or sorry, that was a bad example. Well, what was this thing taking on again? Sorry. Again, this is post-recorded. This thing was taking on, I think, the Thunderous Incarnate, switching in to an HP Ice, and then, yeah, I think this was the main switch into that. Again, Play Rough to deal with stuff like the Terrakion, the Mega Sceptile. It does okay damage to Alolan Muck, though nothing super big. And Drop Kick, of course, just to lower attack in case the Scolipede wants to come in, or maybe a physically offensive Swallow. I can deal some offensive, or I can lower that attack and then switch out if I want to. Definitely not standard, but mass attack, mass HP. It's a little bit of special defense investment. Nothing super crazy. This was my first time ever using Serena, and I think, well, let's treat this. Let's not shatter the fourth wall a little bit, but this will be the first time I'm using Serena, so I'm really hoping that it works out the way that I want it to. Up next, we've got our Hydreigon. It's just its nickname is Smiley Face because you know what it is. It's Choice Scarf, Levitate. It's Modest instead of Timid. Yeah, it's Modest instead of Timid this week because I wanted to get some extra damage on that Florges with the Flash Cannon, as well as the UC with the Dark Pulse because that thing can be really, really bulky sometimes. Earth Power, Dragon Pulse, Flash Cannon, Dark Pulse. I have the Volt turn core between Galvantula, Landorus, and Serena, so I don't really need U-turn on this thing. I don't want to just get rid of useful moves. Flash Cannon, like I said, is good for taking on the Terrakion and the Florges in particular. Dragon Pulse is just for a good stab, as well as to hit the Sceptile pretty hard, and then Dark Pulse to hit the UC, like I said, and the Earth Power for the Pyroar and the Alolan Muck, and the Terrakion as well, though Flash Cannon is also there. So pretty standard, nothing super crazy about it. I didn't give it a gender again, but that's fine. I don't think I gave any of these genders, but it's fine. This was still kind of during the time when I wasn't super invested and wasn't wanting to record as much. Up next, sorry for the segue. Up next, we've got Ozymandias, our Silvally Ghost, who is running Parting Shot, Multi-Attack, Toxic, and Dragon Claw. This is a lot less bulky than last week's set. I wanted that Parting Shot to do a lot of damage because I saw that on his team, his only switch in to a multi-attack really, like besides Swallow, which pretty obviously was the Alolan Muck, and I do have the Dragon Claw as well to take on the Mega Sceptile. Don't remember why exactly, but I did bring the Parting Shot this time. I learned from my mistake. I shouldn't have brought Thunder Wave. I should have just let Smeargle do whatever, and Thunder Wave didn't do anything. But I'm bringing Parting Shot this week to deal, or to at least like to lower the attack on the Scolipede, to prevent like a Swords Dance sweep, or to prevent like just lower the attack on the Terrakion or whatever. Just being Ghost type in general gives me a lot of versatility. Especially against the Alolan, against stuff like the Swallow. I do not want to be swept by Choice Best Boomburst or Flame Orb Facade, Swallow, stuff like that. It also gives me a switch into a close combat, which while I do have my Landorus, I don't want my Landorus taking a lot of damage early game. So I have this thing. If I think that the Terrakion might be Choice Banded, I can switch into this thing to take a close combat. I know Gustavo's playstyle, or I've seen his playstyle a lot, so I don't think he's going to try and make the big over prediction. And bringing Silvally Ghost gives me a really good switch into that. It also gives me a switch into a Scolipede's Megahorn, or like Scolipede can't do anything to this thing, which I appreciate. And of course, toss it to deal with the UC, the Regice, the Gastrodon, the Florges, stuff like that. Up next, we've got our Landorus, which is Waluigi once again, bringing the Yachi Berry for stuff like HP Ice, Thundurus Incarnate, HP Ice Pyroar, Regice, unless it's Spec, I think, because I'm not max HP. But like just every other variant of Regice besides Choice Specs. Even just like a UC HP Ace or whatever, I've seen that before. This is my rocker. I have Swords Dance, Earthquake Knockoff as well. If I can get into the Alolan Muck, I can set up a Swords Dance and just go to town on his team. He doesn't have a super good switch into an Earthquake besides like UC Swallow, and neither of those enjoy taking a knockoff. Well, I mean Decidueye, but again, that doesn't enjoy taking a knockoff either. The only thing that really stands in this thing's way is Mega Sceptile, so as long as I can whittle that thing down well, I should be good. And of course, Ross destroys Thundurus, Scolipede, his Swallow, his Pyroar, his Regice. Half his team is just getting Ross up is a super big priority early game for me. So there's that. Up next, like I said before, we're bringing Galvantula for the first time. Meet Vori, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Compound Ice Focus Sash, pretty standard. Sticky Web, Volt Switch, Gate to Drain, HP Ice. Nothing out of the ordinary there, but again, because hazard removal, like he has the Swallow, and I can't remember if Decidueye gets Defog. I think it does, but at the same time, I don't think it's as reliable as like the oh goodness, what is it? It's signature move with like Roost and also Swallow. He's not going to bring a Defo Swallow. He's going to bring it offensive if anything. So this thing here, setting up webs giving me speed control against the Mega Sceptile, the Terrakion, the Scolipede could be really crucial for me. And the Pyro as well, because Pyro is actually pretty fast. Volt Switch Stab. I'm not actually running Boat Stab. I don't think I need it. HPI should do perfectly fine against the Mega Sceptile and the UC. I can just Volt Switch out into my Ozymandias or my Hydreigon as well. And the Giga Drain is to take on the Gastrodon, because Gastrodon is a pain in the butt if you don't prepare for it properly. It can just live forever. And last but not least, we're bringing Pawnopp or Alomomola. Yep. Rocky Helmet, Regenerator, Mass Defense, Mass HP, Bold Nature, which protects Scald and HP Grass, once again to deal with the Gastrodon. Scald for good stab. Just pretty much just a standard Wish Passer. Can switch into the Terrakion or into the into the Alolan Muck and Rocky Helmet damage. Get off some wishes to support the rest of my team. So that's pretty much the team. It's kind of weird. There's some stuff that might not make a lot of sense, like the Serena. It's definitely a gimmick, but you'll see what happens when I upload the match. But time now for the a new segment that I'm going to be doing for every team builder, and it would be the what is. Sorry, I don't have a proper name for it, but it's basically what 6 Mons I think that the trainer who I'm facing is going to be running. So in the case of the Las Vegas Gardevoir, I'm from now on, because I kind of just planned this right before I did the recording session, but from now on I'm actually going to be making a team where we can go to afterwards to kind of look over it. So looking at my team from an unbiased perspective, I think that first of all, the Alolan Muck is a great bring. It's one of his few ways to take on the Mega Altaria reliably. It's super bulky. It allows him to get tosses off with Poison Touch, knock off items, etc., etc. It's a little bit slow, but it does have priority in Shadow Sneak, and having only one weakness makes it so good. So I think he's definitely going to bring that. Knowing Gustavo, I think he's probably going to be bringing the Terrakion and the Regice. I know that he loves Regice in particular. As well, it also helps to take on the Landorus, the Altaria. HP Fire can take on the Scizor if he's like a Life Orb variant or whatever, as well as the Galvantula. Regice can put in a lot of work. Of course, I think he's going to be bringing the Terrakion because it's Terrakion. It just hits so hard with Close Combat and Stone Edge and or Sacred. I think it is Sacred Sword. Yeah, Sacred Sword. Even on Close Combat's more proper. Getting up Ross is also pretty good. So Terrakion is pretty good for that. So that's Muck, Regice, Terrakion. He's going to want something, probably one of his grass types. I imagine his Mega Sceptile he's going to want for speed control. I can see him trying to do that so he can take on my Hydreigon in particular. Bring my a Mega Sceptile, maybe an Agility set or something. That would be pretty cool. Standard Light. I'm not sure if Mist, if he wants to do that, because I have a Mega Sceptile in another league. I can definitely see him bring Scolipede. Scolipede is just super good. He can't actually pass Swords Dance and Baton Pass. You can only pass Speed in this league. You only pass one stat, you can pass more than one stat, but not with Speed. So he might want to pass some Speed into, I don't know, maybe he can pass Speed into his Terrakion late game and just go for a sweep. So I can see him trying to do that. That makes his team super weak to Ross, though. So to round everything else out, I think he's also going to bring the Florges. Not because it's not weak to Ross, but because it is super bulky and it provides his roster with a little more bulk that he was missing with just a Alolan Muck. He could bring a specially defensive thing, gives him a Wish Passer, Aromatherapy if he wants it, and also Florges can be offensive as well. I just think maybe a more bulky offense with Wish support. So those are the 6 that I'm thinking: Alolan Muck, Scolipede, Terrakion, Florges, Mega Sceptile, and Regice. And that's it. That concludes the team builder, and I will see you in the next video for the actual match whenever I decide to upload it. All right, peace out, guys.